Alright guys, check it out. So I'm not going to be able to make very many EWLS videos during the fall and into the winter because I got a lot of work to do to get the farm ready for spring, right? But there is something we can do that I figured out we can do that will benefit the EWLS and not be time consuming for me. You know, it'll still progress the evolution of the EWLS. And that is a fall forageable food diary. That's what we're gonna do. So as you know, food and nutrition are like one of the main aspects of health, and you know, your body's a machine, and the food, the calories are like the gasoline, and the nutrition, the vitamins and the minerals are like oil and you know, brake fluid and shit like that. Your body doesn't run well without all of it. So food is a very important part of the EWLS system, right? A lot of that food is going to be foraged, and it's now fall, and so I went out and I gathered a bunch of forageable food over here on the left hand side. You know, it probably took me half an hour to do just to find this small amount, but I don't have time to forage every day, right? So what I'm going to do is go to the grocery store on my right hand side here and buy food that mimics the forageable food and eat nothing but that. So the plan is to eat 800 to 1,000 calories a day, right, of all these forageable foods over here that are mimicked by grocery store bought foods over here. And now these foods I'm about to show you are foods that I have foraged just over the past course of the year, that I've learned to forage from the surrounding environment, right, during the fall. So I'm going to show you, you know, is there more food out there? Point being, is there more food out there? Yes. I don't know about it yet, or I'm not skilled at getting it, but this is what I know I can find in the fall, moving 5 miles a day, anywhere in the woods. These things are anywhere in the woods we want to go. So without further ado, let's kick this bitch off. I guess the first thing, of course, will be here. Here's a nettle. So this is a nettle that I harvested from, all this shit came from my property. Like I said, it took about a half hour. Nettles, all nettles are edible. This is not a stinging nettle, but it is a nettle, and you can tell by the leaf. They taste a lot like spinach. So these are around all fall and into the beginning of winter. I would say all this food I'm about to show you is at least available up until the beginning of December. It begins being available, the majority of it, at, let's see, June, July, August. The end of August through the beginning of December is where we can find all this food. Some of it you can find even later. Some of it you can find earlier. Obviously, like this. You know, this plant is going to be growing during the springtime, and it doesn't really die off. It's pretty hardy, and doesn't die off till December. So, nettle is definitely something I can forage anywhere around here. So we'll tear off our little piece of nettle and we'll put it up here on the left hand side, right? So what can I buy at the grocery store that's going to mimic that? And my answer is spinach. This is what I'm going to buy that's going to mimic my nettle. Looks a lot like it, you know, same kind of greenness. I don't know if that matters, but it's a leaf. And plus, there's more forageable plants out there that I didn't gather, like a greater plantain, you know, purslane, you know, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's all going to be represented by spinach, right? All the plants. So we'll put the spinach up here. All right, what's next? During the fall, late August, not mushrooms, all right? September, October, and November, we're going to find mushrooms. This is not an edible mushroom. This is just a mushroom we picked up outside. My wife picked up for me, just to show you that mushrooms grow around here. And you can look at my video. I've got a puffball, you know, eating puffball video. I don't know many mushrooms. I basically know puffballs and morels and hen of the woods and chanterelles and chicken of the woods. And I can't remember what the other ones are called. Okay, so I know quite a few mushrooms, but I don't know all of them. There's a lot of edible mushrooms out there. Anyway, so we can find mushrooms September, October, November. Those, we'll put our little mushroom over here. You over there, mushroom. Those will obviously be represented, the mushrooms, in my diet by these store-bought creminis, brown cremini mushrooms. So I'll be eating those. Next on the list is, and this is a huge one for August, September, October, November, into December, and some of them even into January. Nuts. Now this is an acorn nut that I ripped off our tree. Nuts are everywhere in the Ozarks, and I'm not going to have a problem at all finding them. And I consider them to be the staple. They're going to be the staple calories, anyway, of my diet. Maybe not staple nutrition, because, you know, it takes a robust amount of things to create nutrition, but adequate nutrition, that is, so we don't get like fucking rickets or, you know, scurvy or some shit like that. But anyway, so nuts, and this is just one I ripped off the tree. Here's some nuts I gathered from last year that have been drying. These are walnuts right here, you know, wild walnut trees we have. These are wild hickory nuts, you know. I still haven't checked. These are a year old. I don't know if the nut meat's still in them, but, you know, I'm not going to be saving them for a year out in the wild. And, of course, acorns. These are the big nuts that are around here. Walnuts, hickory nuts, and acorns. So, get you out of here. Get out of here. Here's a hickory nut I just picked up. I mean, these things are everywhere, too. You know, they don't all have good nut meat in them. You know, you're going to have to work to find the ones with good nut meat, but they're laying all over the ground. And I think this is what deer eat all throughout the winter around here. So, you know, you pull the hole off, and that's a kind of a big one. Anyway, so nuts. Definitely gonna eat them. Put our nuts right over here. Put our nuts right over here. There's my nuts. And obviously the civilian counterpart, is that right? Civilian counterpart will be I'm taking almonds. I will be eating almonds, probably a lot, actually. They come in a giant bag and they're cheap. All nuts have about the same nutritional value, so I think this is a very good mimic of what, you know, I'm going to be eating and how I'm going to be feeling. We'll put the nuts up there. All right. Next, here we go. This is a wild grape. These grow everywhere. They're an invasive species around here. And they're part of the ecosystem that keeps the forest healthy. These vines climb up, and these giant leaves block out the sun for the trees, and it kills them and pulls them back down, which creates a whole bunch of detritus and nutrition for all the other small trees and space for small trees to grow up. So these are a vital part of our ecosystem here. And these are wild grapes, and they're everywhere. So now these have seeds in them, right? Try and get to where you can see it. Well, they got seeds in them, but they are nonetheless wild grapes. They have a lot of seeds, actually, like 3 to 5 in every single one. But nutrition, definitely. Calories, maybe not so much, but definitely nutrition. So, wild grapes, we will rip a leaf off you here, and a leaf off you here, and we'll rip this part off. I got to make them fit my board. And we'll put you on top of here. There you go. Boom. Wild grapes. Definitely going to have those. Now, obviously, those are going to be mimicked by store-bought grapes. So these are the store-bought grapes. I bought red grapes because those are kind of red and I don't know, blue or brown, whatever they are. But anyway, so I'm going to be eating store-bought grapes for sure. So we'll put our little store-bought grapes over there. What's next? Here we go. Oh, get over, reach across the table here. Persimmons. These things are everywhere in the Ozarks, and they're wild persimmon trees are a dime a dozen, and these things just now became, like, I don't think I'd be able to eat them in August and September, but they're definitely hanging out for October, November, December, and I found them in January. Hanging on the trees. So, and these things, they're pretty cool. They're, you know, they're basically, show you the inside of them. A lot of people make jelly out of them. They don't harvest or transport them because they're really mushy, and it wouldn't be economical to do so. But they are delicious. Let me tell you. It's almost like a fig, a mushy, a more watered down fig, right? So definitely gonna eat those. And they don't sell those, and let me get this deliciousness off my finger. So they don't sell those, obviously, in the grocery store because people don't make them. But so the closest I've picked up are these plums, and I'll be eating plums as another integral part of my diet throughout all this. All right, go put you guys over there. What's next? Oh, I forgot to show you. Here's some, this is actually wild mushroom around here. This is hen of the woods, and it's so good. It gives a nice, nutty, it's got a nice nutty flavor. This was actually sent to me by Lobo Wolf. He's a pretty cool guy. Lives up in Missouri, hangs out on the boards. But, so, yeah. We'll put those over with the rest of the mushrooms. Sorry, lagging behind. Alright. These are wild onions. Wild alliums. You can see right here. This is... Wild onions are really easy to find. They're everywhere. This is also considered invasive. Not really up here in the mountains. The only place I'm going to find these in the mountains is down in the valleys. Well, the hills. We live in hills up here. Down in the valleys. And in open pastures up on the mountaintops. But can I find them? Yeah, they are. They're fucking everywhere. So we're gonna add alliums to our list of edibles. Okay. Obviously, that's gonna be represented by a store-bought onion. So I will be eating onion too. I guess we'll put our onion over here. So the nuts. I'm also going to use garlic too, because frankly it's delicious, and it's also an allium. They're both alliums, so same kind of family. So onions and garlic, good to go. Now, I drink a lot of tea, like a lot of tea. This is some strawberry black tea. It's fucking delicious. And I would consider that something that really helps my health, my cardiovascular system, and, you know, all that shit. So in the woods, though, tea is really easy to find. You can make it out of a lot of fucking plants. You can make nettle tea just by boiling it. You know, you can make it out. There are a lot of plants out here. One of those plants is mullein. Now, this is mullein that I've saved for personal use. There's a lot of medicinal plants out there. This mullein is good for any kind of respiratory infection. You can smoke it. You can make a tea out of it. So it really helps keep you healthy. So I'm going to add mullein. We'll put mullein way up here because that's kind of medicinal. It's not really sustaining. Although I'm sure you get nutrition out of it. We'll stick my tea up over here too. I'm sure you get nutrition out of it. So last but not least, the big bang is going to be trapping. This is our Duke TP that we carry around, and this winter I'm going to actively, you know, starting January and whatnot, or maybe even earlier, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much my work consumes me. I'm going to be trapping shit. So this is, I obviously haven't trapped anything yet, otherwise I would put some meat on the table over here for you, but this is to represent the wild meat I'm going to catch. It's going to be red meat, you know, raccoon, but I don't know, is possum red meat? I don't know. Raccoon, possum, and skunk are what I intend to catch with that. I don't expect it to be delicious by any means, but it's going to be meat and it's going to be fat. Animals are pretty lean in the wild, right? Most of them, unless they're doing really well, you know, relatively lean anyway. They're not like 50% body fat. So I went for a meat. My store equivalent is going to be chicken. I'll be eating about 200 grams of chicken a day, right? to simulate the meat that we catch with the trap over there. Now, chicken is low in fat, so that's one of the reasons I got it. And, you know, you guys have seen my crow video, you know, eating crow, so, you know, bird is on the menu too. There's a lot of things that are on the menu. But anyway, this is my diet. These are the wild aspects of where I'll be getting it from during the fall, which I consider the end of August, September, October, November, and probably the first half of December is these foods are going to be available in the fall. That's what I consider fall. These are the store-bought counterparts that I'll be eating, and I'll be eating exclusively these foods for at least the next month. I'll be taking in 800 to 1,000 calories a day worth in the proportion that I anticipate finding them. Like I said, only 200 grams of chicken. That's like a breast a day. I can probably eat a lot of shit ton of grapes. I'll find those anywhere. Shit ton of spinach. I'll find those anywhere. Plums anytime I want. Onions anytime I want. Not so many mushrooms because mushrooms only come here after it rains. But nuts definitely anytime I want. I'll be able to find those anywhere. I'm going to be working my ass off. So I'm going to be taking 800 to 1,000 calories in of just these foods and working my ass off. So it's going to give me a good idea of what it's like to hike, you know, 5 miles a day up and over the hills, just only eating these foods that I got. And here's the kicker. So this is what's the small videos I'm going to make every day are going to be basically a food video diary, like I said, of how I'm feeling, how much weight I'm losing. I'm sure I'm going to lose weight. How much weight I'm losing, how I'm feeling, whether I'm craving anything like weird, like, you know, the bacon fat or something like that, or, you know, just my general well-being and health and how this food has sustained me. The format for this is I am going to record, a 30-second or a minute-long segment every day for a week, and then I'm going to post it on YouTube, the week-long series. So you'll be able to watch a video of me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and see what my thoughts were each day on how I was feeling and my general well-being from this food. And I'm going to do that for at least a month. So the next videos to follow should be 4 7 to 10-ish minute long videos over the course of the month. I'm going to post them every week. So, and this is the fall EWLS food foraging experiment. So I'll see you guys in future videos, and I'll let you know how this is working out for me. Boom!